In the Yoruba African mythology, we believe that there is a destiny for everybody. You cannot become a high net worth fellow if you are a chronic time waster.
I failed from nursery school to university.
I did.
The world is fast becoming a very dangerous place. So paying attention to strong family values is very, very important. Welcome to the Happy Family Podcast. I'm Tokunbo Oloyede, and I'm fondly called Uncle Tokes. Of course, in the house, we have our family members. Happy people!
Happy family!
We will be getting to meet with them very shortly. We would like you to, connect with us on our social media platforms and also subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, share, comment, and also click on the notification bell so you can be notified anytime we have, newer content. Yes, we'll be going on a short break, and then when we come back, we will be introducing our family members. Enjoy. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's still the Happy Family Podcast, proudly powered by Prowess Pictures Limited. And yes, we have our family members here, amazing people. I always love to hang out with them. Yes, I believe we'll be having a swell time. We'll be learning, we will be growing, and our lives will never ever be the same. Let me start with my best man on my right hand side, which is your left.
Yeah. Fun fact, I was his best man and my wife was his wife best lady. I married herself. Fun fact. In case you don't know, now you know. Papi Sam here. As usual, we're here to bring life to these conversations, and so that you can also draw value from it, and add to your value, add to virtue, add to all that you have, and grow thereby, so that the world will become less dangerous, safer, and of course, we'll have happy people like us. We are HAPPY PEOPLE. We are happy people. We make you happy.
Okay, I'm Oluwayemisi, and as usual, today's show promises to be insightful and educational, and I hope you draw inspiration as usual. Thank you.
Yeah, hello viewers out there. Papi Sam, you are the first papi that I know without gray hair. Are you applying something?
My wife used to remove it.
Now it makes sense.
Strand by strand, strand by strand.
She didn't like it.
I love every gray strand I have.
It's because it's still coming out 1-1.
Exactly.
I want to be gray. I want to be gray before I'm 50. Like pure white, everything, no black. I just love it. Yeah.
You are coming up, sir.
Something like that, Yeah.
You are coming up.
So our viewers out there, we appreciate you. Without you, your support and encouragement, we won't be here. So we are also we are working very hard, to produce interesting content, educative, programs that will enrich your family, that you can recommend to all your family members, wherever they may be. So thank you very much, and keep watching, the Happy Family Show.
Yeah. We can't thank you enough. So I will just say you're welcome. Thanks for staying tuned.
Nice jacket, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much.
And you look good, by the way.
I'm blushing.
Feel free.
My name is Olabisi, and you are welcome to the Happy Family Podcast.
Your husband must see your face like this. So.
With or without makeup, he
I don't like this. Let me see this version.
He might not even really. He would just say the
name,
natural one is.
In the name of Jesus,
the natural one is
better.
So he's not a makeup freak person.
Like many.
I belong to that club. Don't mind us.
So
I think
you are still shining your teeth, and you're like, is this makeup fine? He will tell you the natural one is beautiful. So.
All right. It's great to have each and every one of us here. We have an amazing topic before us, which says empowering children with essential skills. I believe this is one topic. If taking hook, line, and sinker, fisherman and the boat, um, I mean, we'll have amazing children out there. Several children were raised without essential skills. The basic thing they got was education, because at that point in time, education was just the four walls of a classroom, primary, secondary, and the university. And a lot of people found themselves out there in the marketplace and realized that they weren't equipped enough. I remember someone telling me she got a job, and after a while she said, I don't feel, what was the word she used? Like, I don't feel, what was that particular word? There was a particular word she used. No, she doesn't feel qualified. Like, she doesn't, she feels out of place. Yeah, she read accounting, but now she's in an accounting space, and all of a sudden she feels, I don't have what it takes.
Everybody speaks better. Everybody look probably differently, and it's just like taking you from your natural habitat and putting you in another place, and you just feel like a stranger, and you feel lost, and it's very easy to feel lost in this world. I want to say that, to allude to what you were saying. There was a time when parents just want to see their children score very high in mathematics and maybe English language, and it's as if that's the only thing that matters. I remember a few years ago, my 9-year-old daughter, she she used to attend the school, and this in at this school they teach them mathematics is like very important. I have a master's degree in mathematics, so
Interesting.
yeah,
Maths.
so mathematics is my thing, and it's something that I love very much, and I would encourage children. I believe that it applies a lot to real life. However, I don't, I didn't subscribe to the fact that you should see a 5-year-old probably and judge them on the basis of this one can read, recite 10 times or 12 times table, and this other one cannot. So because we changed the score of my kids after 2 years, going by that standard, it seemed as if there was a setback. But they were now attending a more expensive school or a highly diversified curriculum that is structured in a different way. So I saw many other parents. In fact, there was a parent that was really, really angry because they went on holidays, and other kids seemed to be performing better than our kid. In fact, they could read. Our child was not able to read at the same rate, and it was like, oh, I've been wasting money all along. So why are we paying so much? My child cannot read like this other child. Well, so when my wife brought the same, my wife and I now had the same conversation. I said, no, I think I know one or two things about education. I think our children are getting the right education. They know about other stuff. They know they at that 5-year-old that cannot, that couldn't recite 12 times table, could tell you what happens in the desert, could tell you some features of a camel that makes the camel survive in the desert, how it retains water, how it does this. You see another level of intelligence.
Knowledge base. Yeah.
Exactly. It's not just the maths, the English, but there are some other skills that are the reasoning ability, that this child has developed at that age. I told my wife I would pay more even for that than just gaining the basic mathematics and the English. So I think that education should not just be, real life goes beyond.
Diversified.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just.
Yeah,
keeping that in.
diversified
I mean,
curriculum. Yes,
diversified, yeah.
because indeed, I don't want to. I want every other person to be able to contribute. But what I'm just saying in essence is that real life requires a wide array of skills. I mean, yeah. So it's not just your ability to calculate all of that. You should be able to reason. You should be able to listen. You should be able to discuss. Have nice conversations.
So listening is a skill, just based on what you
Yes,
said.
listening is a skill. Listening is a skill.
That
Asking
not
the
so
right
many people
questions.
have. And
Aha.
I'm probably talking to myself.
So,
Yeah, I don't know.
asking the right questions is a skill. Financial literacy is a skill. You don't even need to know mathematics. The conductor, bus, our local bus conductors and all of that. Some of them did not even go through primary school. But when you pay, I don't know how it works now because things are now expensive. Now you take transport with 200 naira, 500 naira, 1,000. But there was a time when you will need a lot of change. This person needs change. He has to be able to recognize the face, remember how much he has to give the person, and he does the calculation quickly on his feet and know that, oh, this guy is getting 45 naira from me or 75 naira from me, a long time ago.
Those things that conductors do. Give me 100 naira, I collect 50 naira.
Exactly.
Sometimes you are so
Exactly.
lost that bring 200 naira and collect 500 and you're like, what's this one saying? You start calculating in your head. And all these market women too, they do it a lot. Fast, they already calculated it, and you still carry calculator. You buy like 20 things, and they already told you bought rice, you bought pepper, you bought this, and they already arrived at a figure, and you are still carrying calculator.
Saying that maybe I want to give.
So it's a skill. It's a skill.
Conductor 300 naira. No, 200 naira. Then I give him 500. You see, had 300 naira. Let me give you 1,000.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Exactly. The guy knows, he has sharpened with practice. He has been able to sharpen his analytical intelligence. That's what he has been able to. So what I'm just saying is that a child is a person.
Yeah.
So a person has to develop properly, emotionally, the financially, you have to have the knowledge, the intelligence in all these areas, spiritually, and give me the word, and other areas of life.
For example, essential life skills, swimming.
Is swimming an essential life skill?
It is.
How does it?
That might not be an
Depends on the part.
When I'm not from the riverine part of the country.
People actually live from the beginning of their lives to the end and never know
And
how
never ever
to
near
swim.
water.
No, it's an essential life skill. For example, let's just say a flood occurred. For example, you're on the island.
Well, safety and emergency preparedness.
No, because that is an essential
helicopter will rescue us.
Life skill. There are things that a child should know how to do. I thought. You know what I thought? I thought that swimming was in it, like you were born with it. Growing up as a child, and so I couldn't swim, so I felt like, okay, the people that know how to swim jumped into the water and just I can swim, I can swim and all. That's what I thought as a child. But my brother almost drowned. When I say drowned, he was gone. He was picked from underwater. It was just God that did not make him die. Literally. And I had to learn how to swim by myself. So, for example, if I don't know, can anyone swim here?
My wife can swim,
but
she's
I'm talking
not
about
here.
are you leaning on?
Even my 6-year-old knows how to swim.
Okay,
So
let's say
I enrolled all of them in swimming class. I don't
yourself.
have that time.
no, check it out now. Let's say no, check it out.
They can rescue you.
Do you know what? Let's say we were on a.
At least you-
Let's say
you
we
are
were.
safe.
Let's say we went on a boat cruise. For example. Not bragging. I think I'll be more at rest than any of you here.
Before I go on a boat cruise, I will learn how to swim. Or I'll ask for a life jacket. I mean, yes, a life jacket at least.
Or let's say you were around the pool area
a life jacket.
and you were mistakenly pushed.
Inside the
I
pool.
will not go there.
I will not go there. At least.
I will not go
All
there.
right.
All right.
We'll
I
put
would
that
say-
by the
Talking
side.
about
Okay,
life
we put-
essential skills
we'll put
for
that by the side,
children,
okay?
I feel communication skill
Very, very important.
important. Communication skill is very, very
What's
important.
communication skill?
Well,
For the sake of our
Communication.
yes.
okay.
Speaking and listening, giving a feedback. I think those three things.
Wait.
Speaking.
Speaking.
Listening.
Listening.
And
feedback.
so which one comes first?
Speaking, of course, if
Ah,
you're communicating.
How
Wait,
can you speak before you
wait.
hear? Eh,
Wait. You know,
Okay.
communication can be verbal and non-verbal.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm just talking about verbal communication here.
Yeah.
If a child feels, oh, something is wrong, a child could give you a non-verbal cue, or the child can speak up. That is what I'm saying. So if a child must learn how to speak, you know, I have a 4-year-old, or rather a 3.5-year-old, and sometimes she will just try, and that thing hurts me. I don't know. I don't like it. Like, what is wrong? I just want you to say, okay, this is what. Although children cannot. How will I put it? They get to an age where their communication skill is fully developed. But I also encourage communicate. You must learn it, because if they don't learn to communicate as children, they take it outside too.
Yes.
They take it outside. So speaking is the first thing. What is wrong? Okay, tell me. Okay, speak. This is what I want. Then they listen to what I also say. They should also have the ability to listen. Okay, wait. Okay, you want biscuits? All right, wait. When you finish having your bath and you've had your breakfast, you will have biscuits. Is that okay? And she says, okay, ma. And that is the feedback.
I agree totally with you. You know, one of the problems that we also have in our families between couples and everything, when you raise a child that has not learned how to communicate properly, so that person will develop other means of expressing, whatever they are going
feelings.
Where tantrums.
feelings, exactly,
Yes.
tantrums, all of it. Some
Express.
people cannot communicate properly until they are very angry. Until that point, you see an outburst, and you are asking the question, you should have told me this thing earlier. So why are we fighting
And I think
now?
children should also be taught to be able to understand non-verbal cues. You know the thing they will tell you that your mother will do like this.
Yes, so.
Now, I've seen people that, old as they are, they can't read a room. Like, they'll just get into the room and you'll be like, can't this person see that this place is serene, quiet? This is a sober moment for everyone. And the person will just come in and just start.
Are you talking about an adult now, a teenager?
Yes, I'm talking about an adult, because they've not
okay.
learned to
They've
read
not
the
learned
room.
it
Non-verbal
from even
cues.
while they were young.
Yes, they don't know how to read a room.
To buttress what
Thank
you're
you.
saying, I attended a party, and it was a birthday party. They said, if you have a testimony or something to say about the celebrant. So people started coming and saying nice things, what they remember about the celebrant, when the celebrant was good to them. And then there was someone that also, mounted the podium, got the microphone, and was telling a very and uninteresting, the wrong story to tell on someone's day of celebration. Do you now know what happened? People started saying, ha! People started clapping for her. They wanted her to leave. She thought she was doing the right thing. She continued. She went on until they had to take the mic from this person. She could not even decode that people are saying, we don't want to hear. This is...
Whichever way a child is raised, or if they are not, if they don't have that skill, as they grow up too, they won't be able to deploy the skill that they didn't have as children.
Yes,
It's
they
possible.
don't have
Except they learn it.
communication.
Possible
Except
they learn
they
it
learn it.
along, maybe
Communication is
when
learned.
Okay, of course.
when
Absolutely,
they
absolutely.
realized on time and they learn it
Absolutely.
while growing up. But once they don't learn it from when they were kids,
Yeah.
to learn will now be a difficult
it boils down
because
on
they might not even
parenting.
see it
Now they
as
experience
something
and
necessary.
It boils down on parenting, what the
Parenting,
parent
yeah,
will teach
yeah,
them.
yeah.
What if the parent now doesn't even have it?
Why
The child now will not have it.
You literally took. That was what I wanted to talk about.
And then it
Using that
keeps going.
experience.
And then it keeps going like that.
Some families, you just say that that's how they talk in their house.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And that's why this show is
No,
up now.
no
And that's why
form
we
of,
have this
filters.
those
I
was
kind of
addressing
because
that
some people
lack
don't
tact.
even
No
know.
filter. They lack tact.
Yeah.
Anything that comes to their head gets out of their
and
mouth.
Some
and that's
people's
even
mouth is
difficult,
so
huh?
faster than their brain.
Oh,
They
Lord.
just open
Thank
their
you.
mouth and
As in,
talk.
they just open their mouth
Yeah,
to talk,
they
and
just
you
open
wonder,
their
like,
mouth and talk.
where's
And
this
you're
coming
like,
from?
why is this person talking
and
like
then
this?
they find it surprising when people say what they are doing is wrong because
Yes,
my
it's
parents,
normal
it's
and natural
normal
to them.
natural to them. So tact, diplomacy, listening, communicating properly,
expressing
expressing
yourself.
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 In fact,
well.
expressing yourself properly. You know, you
Properly,
could actually
yeah.
express
in a
yourself very
respectful
improperly.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are proper ways
What
to
role does
express.
culture play in all of this? Because there's a
Okay,
culture
yes.
where you bow your head, your children are not given a voice, children are not allowed to say, they don't have an opinion.
Look your parents in the eye.
I think
know?
it's changing.
Yes.
Of course,
Yes.
I grew up with that,
changing.
where you don't have a voice. There are things my son will do right now, and I just wonder, where did you have the guts? Where did the guts come from? Because in my day, you dared not. But of course, we are raising confident children, not spoiling them.
Not
I mean, when it's
spoiling
time to be spanked,
And you know,
you'll
I
get
found
spanked.
that
and
Something
everything.
happened on Sunday.
I've seen people that when you are talking to them, they can't look you in the face, and it makes me feel bad. You know, I'm asking someone a question, like, give me an answer, like, I really don't, and the person will just look down like this and not be able to, like, please look at me and answer me. I don't know where that thing came from, but I now learned that some parents will be telling their children, why are you looking at me? I'm talking to you. When I'm looking at you, you look away. I don't understand. Like,
it hampers your self-esteem,
Yes.
confidence too.
It cages
self-confidence, and they
cages.
grow with it through life. And it just means that anybody can just ram into them or walk over
And
them.
they won't be able
and
to
they won't
stand
be
up for themselves.
Able to stand up or speak for themselves.
Yeah.
So I remember something happened on Sunday. We got back from church and my son and the dad were playing, and the dad said something about you that you're a small big boy, and he just like small big boy. Daddy, does that even make sense? Like, I want you to explain it to me. How can I be a small boy and be a big boy at the same time? You know, he has to understand. You know, if it were to be before, you cannot say that to
how
your
dare
parents.
you.
And the dad was like, look at this boy telling me, does that even make sense?
Be playing with the boy.
He was saying, does that even make sense? How can you say I'm a big boy and I'm still a small
when
boy
one
at
of
the
my
same
daughters
time?
was 4 years old, so I was going to buy something, all these snacks we buy by the roadside. So as I was so we passed the house, the turning to the house, and then so they asked me, Daddy, what's happening now? We have passed the house. Where are we going? I said, I want to buy something. So I told them what I was going to buy. They saw a number of people selling the same thing, and they said, why can't you buy it from these people now? Why did we keep going? I said, there's a woman down the street. She's my customer. So by the time I turned the car around and I was coming to the woman and I bought it, and one of them said, that is just confusing me. That is not selling anything. Why is the woman our customer? His customer. And I said, I'm very sorry. I'm her customer. It's the other way around, But
Because it doesn't make sense to them at that time. That what's this man saying?
Exactly. But now she was able to clear her doubt. She was able to clear her doubt. That's what you will not be able to do,
My son will tell me, I'll chomp you. And I'm like, what's that? He said, it's not a bad words. Not word, bad word. He said, it's good words.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is chomp? I say, it's not bad words.
So don't crucify
he
me.
uses so many words, and I'm wondering where are you getting it from? Because what he watches most times is mathematical on my wife's laptop. So I'm just like, where are you getting? We'll say wimps. He will mention chinks. I'm like, for crying out, he says it's not a bad word. I'm like, because I don't know which one is bad or which one.
And it's good because you are able to know what's going on in their mind. You are able to know, the kind of words they are adding to their vocabulary. And you are able to correct them if there is anything wrong. These were the things some of us lacked. It's relative in some homes. They've always had this kind of standard a long time ago. But Japakos like us. I had some visitors. They saw my kids, my young daughters, the way they were participating in our conversations and everything. What they were saying made sense. But one of them just used a kind of proverb to tell me that.
Felt the children should not be in the
I
conversation.
said, Pastor, these are your children. They don't know they are supposed to keep quiet when our daughters are talking. Then I told her that in my house, our kids have a voice. Yes, there are times
There are
when
times
I
when
tell them,
You tell
this
them
is
you
our.
are out of
Yes,
this conversation.
yes.
But other times,
But
of
other
course,
times, we are talking about very little things,
why should they
things
keep
that
quiet?
affect them,
They learn. They
and
learn
they
from
also
the
know about this thing, and you
conversations.
just assume they don't have a voice.
That's why I love the church. Because the church is just that one place that brings everybody together, irrespective of tribe, age, background, and everyone has a voice. I just needed to chip that in.
I'd like to also move further a little bit. I saw a video recently of schools in China, like elementary schools, where they were teaching the children to cook, to clean. So in that school, they don't have people who clean. So the children clean after themselves. They cook when it's time for breakfast or lunch rather. They cook their lunch and do stuff. They were trying to skill them, permitting to use that word, to have those basic skills, survival skills and all of that. And for me, it's part of their curriculum. So when you send your child to that kind of school, by the time the child comes back home, the child will know how to wash plate, how to clean, how to cook, how to take care of themselves. But I saw a child that was learning how to suture, like a surgeon. When you suture an injury, and was learning the whole thing. And then some were making clothes, napkins, and for me it was.
Yeah, we don't always have those kind of schools around.
Yeah.
So we have to
for me it
develop
was just essential. I remember my days in uni. I had this friend when we first got to school, he couldn't cook anything. He just came. And so I remember the first day he came, because when they were bringing him, the parents went by the door, so I greeted them. Like, are you also your student? Go. Then he came to knock my door. He said, he's feeling hungry. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do with that information? Because I mean, naturally, I was like, I just asked him, so do you cook? He said, no, I don't cook. Today, I now did what my mother used to teach me. I like the gas, put water there, wash rice, pour it inside. When I was learning how to cook and all, that's one flip of it. But by our second year, by his second year, which is my own first year, cook rice. He said the first time he went home, he was hungry and there was nobody around. Then he now called the mom. What are we asking for? Then I said, I'm thinking of she now made the food, and the mom was like, who taught you? Like, I learned in school now, And I'm wondering, should they wait till when he leaves the home to go and learn? What if he didn't get someone to learn from? Okay, that's one. Two. Okay. There was a girl, I can't forget this girl. When she got to school, then she wanted to eat noodles. I went to do baby. I just knocked her door. He said he wanted to cook noodles. I can't smell it. She was eating it raw. Oh my! What? She was noodles. She was eating it raw. Cake. I was like, eating it raw. I was like, so why can't you cook it? She said, she didn't want to tell me that she didn't know how to. I was like, can you cook it? She said, not really. And I had to teach her how to make noodles, how to boil water, how to make kebab. Not started from all of those things. Then I took her to the market.
Papi Sam, you
how
are
to make soup and all.
Training children that
he has been papi.
My name in school was Papa Sam. It was after school that they turned that he changed to Papi Sam. So if I hear Papa Sam, I know it's from school days. And eventually I just really feel bad that parents didn't put these things in their children till they got out. I think
the focus is usually on the women in this part of the world. That's what I think.
When it comes
to
like domestic skills. I think there's this focus on women, and for me, I cook. And the reason
cooking is a life-saving skill.
Yeah, the reason I know how to
for one woman to come and cook
the reason I know how to cook is because I stayed with my dad for 4 years in the north.
Okay.
He was in the north, and I joined him at 15, and I was compelled to cook every day, 2-3 times a day. And I go to the market. So before you know what's happening,
so it was
It was situational. Yeah. It was situational. I don't think I would know how to cook. And I can stand before the average woman and most women that I cook better than they do. I can challenge.
We need cooking challenge
because I noticed that the average woman doesn't know how to cook.
What are you trying to say?
Okay.
Which one is average woman does not know how to cook? Let me turn it to violence. So which one is average woman does not? I don't understand. Please explain. Let us understand. Please let us understand.
I will explain to you.
Oh yeah. Before you explain, sir, please let me give you an example. I have an auntie. When I was 10, 11, they said, auntie, go and wash rice. Auntie carried soap He said I should watch
That's your auntie.
funny and
That's
go
your
and
auntie.
watch that. Till
Olabisi
tomorrow.
has-
That's
Till
your
tomorrow.
auntie.
Olabisi has taken
I
it
want to hear, I want
personally.
to
She
hear.
doesn't know how to
How
cook
you
till
say
tomorrow.
average? Do you know what average means? Average, let's say you get there.
I know what
you
I'm
not
talking
even
about.
Say small.
Let me tell you.
strata.
Olabisi, let me tell you something.
yeah.
I don't really enjoy eating out in
Okay,
people's homes
yeah.
because most times I get disappointed. Most times. So I'm not excited. Well, let us have you a meal. I'm not excited.
They have this.
No. The reason is
Don't worry.
Hey, we have had you.
Don't worry, we know you know how
Don't
to.
say that again. Don't say that again. Don't say that again. I
Do you
can
know
off
what?
my jacket.
Wait, do you know what?
Don't say that
Emperor,
again.
wait, sorry.
I apologize.
Sorry, Emperor.
Yes.
Head of the family. Please, let's do a bout. A food bout this Friday or Saturday.
No problem.
Let's do a food bout. Myself and Olabisi.
Oh yeah.
I hope you don't. I
Let's
hope you
go
don't
there.
fall
I won't
women's
run.
hands.
Lie.
I hope you don't fall women's hands.
I stand gidigba.
What are you saying?
Okay.
I
All right.
stand
I like that. I like that. I like
Let's
that.
get back to business.
Okay, so one thing we have established now is that communication and
yeah.
this one of the essential skills, domestic skills. And I will tell you, growing up as a firstborn, I grew up in a polygamous home, so there are too many mommies to cook. So, but then I was useful in other areas except cooking. When I started learning to cook, one day my father came and said, a boy must not cook my meal again in this house. And that was the end of it. But what that did to me was that I lost even the little one I was learning. Fast forward to many years in the future, I met myself living alone in Europe. I ate bread to the extent that for the rest of my life, if I don't taste bread again,
You don't try.
I have had enough. I ate bread to the point that, I could eat bread from morning till night,
It's a bread
and my
society.
eyes and my and then
Western
my
world is a
eyes
bread
will be
society.
in Nigerian parlance, it will be turning me. I will look at it. I will eat. In fact, my Bonvita is not Bonvita, but another product, something like that. The container is like this, very big, and that thing and my bread, they were my lifesavers. But it was as if though I was suffering. Until I summoned courage the first time I cooked a pho with my friend. The guy came, shook his head. He showed me like this. The water was separate, the vegetables separate, and all of that. But my kids will never know that because some of them, on their birthdays, I make a special meal for them. I had to learn the separate. You see, the moment I learned how to cook, there was no turning back. There was no turning back. In fact, that thing, do you know that kind of shakara that they do? They will now be rationing my food, saying this meat. I would cook at times, I will eat, I say, oh boy, now you cook like this. Yes, so I serve myself. I look at my pot. I say, if I finish this pot, who will arrest me? Nobody. I finish everything. I cook another one tomorrow. I think it's really, really a survivor, a life-saving skill. And wherever you find yourself, not just academics.
What other skills?
Emotional intelligence, empathy, which is most lacking these days. You see people, social media is a mess. You see people tell stories, like real stories of, I don't know, I don't want to say tales of woe, but they are really heart-rending stories. And you see someone come there and, what were you looking at before you even got married to him? A little empathy, a little understanding, okay, where this person is coming from. The person has made their mistakes, quite all right. Just forget about the mistake. What comfort can you offer at this moment? Then, I think some people can't read emotions. They are so bad with reading emotions. Someone is down, the person can't, how will I put it? They can't offer any comfort. They don't even understand.
Can we move away from the social media example and look at
you
know why?
Because
Because at times when textual messages don't show the emotion.
Even in
but
real
not
life.
Even that, social media
even in real life, you
place.
see issues of people who have accidents on the road, and people will bring out cameras and start recording.
There is a psychology to that effect. No,
what I'm trying to say is, it's not even about recording this thing. What efforts, you don't have to go there to say, okay, I want to carry the victim or something. But what efforts are you making probably to get across to the FRSC or an ambulance or something.
Do
you know,
you know what's
help
called?
people get
Do you
out.
know what is called the bystander effect?
Bystander effect. Okay, please explain.
Yeah, so it's a concept in psychology, and with all due respect to all the experts. So the bystander effect, it applies everywhere. If you see, let's say, a company, let's say we have some people, like 10 people, they have a similar role to play, but someone joins, like there are 9 people, and the 10th person joins. If they are supposed to do something, and the 9 people that the 10th guy met, they are just standing and watching. The 10th person, he won't move.
Definitely.
Not because he would not have moved if all the other guys were not there. So it's just like, I won't be the first person. Why are they not moving? The same thing happened. So it came from the fact that people would have accidents. That's where the story came from. The moment nobody is making the move, others stand and they watch. If one person makes a move, you see others, they will start joining. So that concept is called the bystander effect.
Wow.
So
It's going to be worse in this generation because of social media.
yeah, social media has
Right now,
made
people
it
just
worse. We
bring out their
have
phones and
I would like to
Yeah.
say something about the social media. So the social media is a proper reflective of the actual minds of people. Now the Bible says that the heart of man is desperately wicked. We can't know the end. So they find a place where they can hide their face, but reflect what's in their mind, and they don't give a care, and they would say it. And the truth is, it's a reflection again of our society, of this climb where we're quick to judge. Even before we now think of, what if I was in this situation, or turn the table around, I'm quick to judge. And the truth is, whenever I see such things, I just say that this is a real person. The person might now have a rethink and say, okay, let me now do better. Or the person that didn't type is having a double thought. And the person that feels they should type, I can't really care then. But I think it's good for everybody to have this level of self-esteem that whatever they put out there won't really get to you. And then control the things you won't see out there. Like me as a person, I'm not a fan of comment sessions like that. Once I read 2 or 3, I'm done. But then we now go down. I'm reading what people say, and I'm wondering, I am developing a headache over what's my business.
Yeah, I would like us to talk about how we can teach children emotional intelligence.
Exactly.
How we can
So,
help them, teach them empathy.
Developing what's the word now? Going into that now, I think it's pivotal for parents to teach their children how to emotionally handle their feelings. How to express it,
I think
how to manage it.
No. Let's break it down. Yeah. Because I'm seeing 2 things from what you are saying now.
Okay, that is
There
actually
is the aspect of emotional intelligence and the aspect of empathy.
Yes.
I know they are related, but in the how they should handle, their emotional situations and how they should handle other people's emotion.
Their own emotions will be emotional awareness, like they are aware of what they feel, how they feel, and they will learn how to manage
Awareness,
it.
social awareness,
and I
relationship
think
awareness.
learning to manage their own emotions starts with how parents help them handle it. You get, your child is crying. Some parents will, shut up, Jeremy, I don't want to hear you, and things like that. I feel parents should practice empathy. You quite all right. You don't understand what is wrong with that child. Quite all right. But call the child. Oh, hey, come. I know you don't like tears, but come. Okay, what is happening? Okay, talk to me. The child might not be able to even give you an immediate answer.
but he's learned something.
A hug at that moment will do. Just hug the child. Okay, hold on. What is wrong? Let the child finish crying. All right. The child has finished crying. What is happening? What is wrong? The child might not even be able to communicate because children's communication skills might not be fully developed.
Whatever
But
you want
that
to.
teaches them how to begin to regulate
By
their
example.
emotions.
Yeah,
Majorly by
Another
example.
time that happens, they will be able to walk up to you and tell you, this is how I feel. And through that, children will learn how to manage their emotions.
And this is directly connected to communication skills. When they're able to. So there's this page I follow online where the boy, 4-year-old boy, once told the mom, whenever you raise your voice, I feel this way, you make me feel certain way. And the parent have given the child room to express his feelings. The mom will go by saying there's nothing wrong with the way you feel, but this is how we then manage it. And the boy is becoming so emotionally intelligent that he even shared with his mom that in his class a girl was crying, and I asked her why she was crying, and I told her to okay to cry. I gave her an handkerchief, and then she told me because the dad and the mom were arguing that morning, and then she didn't like it, and I told her that once in a while adults argue, but when they argue, it's their issues. And the boy kept, telling the mom what he did, and I'm like, oh wow. And it was because the parent had helped the boy to express the way he feels. And then when the boy one time the boy said he was crying in class because they heard that someone died. And then one boy said you don't have to cry, and then he told me, no, it's okay that you cry, express the way you feel. After then you feel better, you're able to think clearly. And I'm like, oh wow.